Hi, this is Laura with Rethink Junk by Laura, and we've had several requests lately about mixing colors, if you can do that, how they turn out, what they look like, and we're going to just play with some of them today. I'll show you some that I've already mixed. If you've got a color combo you want me to try, then feel free to ask and I will do it right here and we'll see what it turns out like. The tricky thing about mixing when you're mixing with paints is it's not like it was in elementary school where yellow and red make orange. The base of the paint makes a big difference in how it turns out. So I'll think I'm going to mix something really pretty and get something that looks like baby poo all the time. But we do have some pretty colors we want to show you. So we'll start down here. I had some requests the other day for a navy. So regular denim. When we mixed 2 parts denim with 1 part midnight, we got something closer to navy. That's one coat. It probably could be a little bit darker if we put another coat on it there. This is a really cool color. This is on the website. It's called Not Quite Navy. It's not quite navy because it's got a little bit of a green hint to it. That's because it's got Patriot lily pad and peacock feather in it. This recipe is on the website. There's a little tab that says colors. When you click on that, a little drop down says recipes, and you can find some of these on there. This one is not on the website. This one is Patriot and Spring Meadow. And we graduated how much of the Spring Meadow we added. We started out darker here, added a little more Spring Meadow and a little more Spring Meadow. This is a really pretty color. It's a really pretty blue. It's hard to tell over the phone or whatever device you're using to watch the little live video, but it is a really soft blue color. Very, very pretty. Some of them surprised me here. I had somebody asking this morning if we could mix gray mist and slate. So here we have 2 parts gray mist, 1 part slate. This is the gray mist next to it. So you can see that there's a difference there. If you just added a little bit of gray, a little bit of slate, you're not going to tell a difference. But right here, you've got something darker than the gray mist, if that's what you're looking for. And I cannot remember who asked me that. And then I believe it was Diane that asked if we could mix driftwood and burlap. So this is regular driftwood, regular burlap. Here we have driftwood and 2 parts burlap. Here we have 1 part driftwood and a bunch of burlap. This is just a little bit of driftwood in the burlap. Usually when I'm mixing colors, what I do is I start with the light color and add the darker color just a little bit at a time because it'll color really, really quickly. If you start with a dark color and you're trying to change the color by adding a lighter one, you're going to use a whole lot more paint, and the goal is to use the least amount of paint possible. So I started here with the driftwood, with the burlap, and added a little bit of driftwood till I got something that she was looking for, a beige gray kind of color, which I think this is there. Then Alyssa asked about a sage. This one cracks me up. This is why you never know what you can mix together. This color right here, that's actually a really pretty kind of sage color. I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to hold it over the white paper here so you can kind of see the color. And, you know, it's hard with the lighting and everything. This is actually robin's egg and poppy. Poppy is our orange color. It mixed with robin's egg, which you would never have thought. And I think we actually came up with this one by accident, didn't we? Katie's doing my cameraman job today.
It was either that one or this one.
Yeah, so we started here with poppy and robin's egg. Then, because we had right here 2 parts robin's egg, 1 part poppy. Then we went 1 to 1, and we got that, which is more of a beige kind of color. Then if we add poppy and 3 parts poppy and 1 part robin's egg, we actually get a yellow kind of color, which that's kind of a gold yellow, which is a really pretty color too. Again, really hard to see on the camera, but the color is really, really cool. So then this one, that sage green kind of color though just cracked me up because I would never have guessed there was orange in that. This is just our regular cherry blossom. But then we were playing with pinks because sometimes I like this, sometimes I think it looks baby's room and we could get a little classier with our pink. So I'm open to suggestions if you've got a great pink color you'd like us to add to the line. But here we have poppy, flamingo, and cotton. And these are just, all 4 are different, added more cotton along the way. This is 1 part cotton, 2 parts, 4 parts. And so we just added a little bit more cotton each time to get different shades of the pink color, but it's poppy and flamingo, and then cotton to make it lighter or darker, depending on what color you want. This is the final color. I don't know if it'll be easier to see in here or not, but this is the final color we ended up with, which is actually really pretty. Can you see it in there?
Kind of. On the lid you can.
On the lid you can. So it's really actually a very pretty pink. It's a little bit more dusty rose than baby pink. When we were, let me go back and show you this one where we had the blues going on, the Patriot and the Spring Meadow. That's one that Katie played with and found. And it, again, you can probably see it on the lid. But see, look what a pretty blue color that is. Really, really pretty. And if you add less Spring Meadow, that's when you get the darker shades of this blue, like on the paint sticks over there. Then we had, which other one did we? Oh, we talked about this one that was the not quite navy color. Let me show you that one so you can see it better here, because it does have a green tint to it, but it's really neat. So it's kind of cool. And then that takes us to, oh, this one right here that was the Robin's Egg and Poppy. We ended up thinking that that was kind of a butterscotch color. I'll show you that one. It's finished.
Get it.
Yeah, where really is? Okay, there we go. Got it. There's that color, which is really kind of cool. Which I'm saying about every single color, right? I should have kept a couple of the nasties and opened it up and said, this is really gross. Okay, so then we've got the purples right here. And we started with Patriot and Flamingo, and then added some cotton until we got, and you could go even lighter with it if you wanted a really soft lavender color, just add more cotton. But that one's really pretty if you're looking for a purple color. And I believe there's a recipe similar to this. I don't think it's the same recipe, but I think there's a purple recipe on the website. So now I had some requests because, well, let me show you this one first too. This one's a good color. This one is Lily Pad and Patriot, and I thought this was a good color because we're moving into fall and Christmas time, and gag, not ready for that. And it's Patriot and Lily Pad mixed together, and it is a 1-to-1. Let me just show you, and you can mix as much as you want or a really small amount. Where's my Lily Pad sample? And the here's just a little bit. I'll just do a tiny bit. Okay, so see, these two colors end up making that. So we've got Patriot, and we add the Lily Pad to it. And can you see it's when
the video makes it look a bit more blue, but
okay.
It's pretty green.
And yeah, it is a pretty green. You can add a little bit more of the Lily Pad too. You could, that's the fun thing, is playing around till you get exactly the color that you want. But it makes a real pretty kind of fur green kind of color. I think on the website, that one's on the website, and I think we were playing around and called that one Duck Dynasty Green because it looks kind of like it could be in the camo family. Okay, there was a request for, okay, so that's the Patriot and Lily Pad we have right here. Yeah, that's a good color. Okay, then we had a request for, this one's tricky because you can't, all I can see are pictures and I don't live there, but Tammy asked for an Aggie Maroon. And so what we ended up coming up with, and again, play with the colors, we had 3 different options right here. We started with Barn Door, and we've got some Barn Door, some Denim, and Semi-Sweet. Right here, we added a little bit of a cloud to it, just a tiny bit. I'm amazed when you, in fact, I should probably just play around and do it so you see the difference it makes. So I've got Barn Door, Denim, and what did I say, Semi-Sweet?
I think it's over there in the corner.
Over in the corner? Oh, yeah, she's right. All right. All right, so if we're playing with this one, and Tammy, if you're, I don't know if you're watching or not, but if you're watching, you can play and add whatever color you need to add.
Miss Tammy is watching and she said, whoop.
Yay, good. All right. Well, you know, it'll be totally different in her light, but these are the 3 colors we pulled together to do it. So if you do the Barn Door and ratios are, when you're doing a little bit like this, you can tell when you're playing if you've added way more Barn Door, way more burlap, and way more whatever it is you're playing with. So a little bit of the Denim. Now, you're going kind of purple here, and that may be what you want. It was hard to tell on the little color swatches I looked at. So it may be, oh wow, that's it, great. If not, we found that adding just a tiny bit of the Denim Made it look a little richer. I don't have a big enough pile here.
That's semi-sweet.
I mean, sorry, semi-sweet. Good thing Katie's here to keep me on track. And see, I would play around and add a little bit more red if I was doing this, you know, till you get to the color you want. The thing that amazed me is when and that's why you have to be careful when you're playing. Just play with little teeny bits at a time. The temptation is to pour everything together. When we added cloud to this, I just had what I thought was a teeny little bit of cloud. That's just a tiny little bit of cloud. And look how fast that just totally takes the color away. So if you're going to add something, we did add some cloud to this last one right here to get it, you know, this has looked a little bit dark, but I'm talking, we added a minuscule amount, teeny amount. So when you're adding the whites, because you're starting and you're mixing a dark color, just add them way slow because they make a difference quick, just like the blacks do. It's those, you know, either end of the spectrum colors that, well, don't show her that. She'll think we're on crack. Just show her that. So she sees that one of those is going to work. And that combination is denim, barn door, and semi-sweet. And then you can play around with the amounts that you want to get to the color you want. Okay, and then we had a request for trying out, okay, the sage green. Alyssa asked about a sage green, and that was this one over here. And then we had a request for mixing denim and driftwood. And I have not ever mixed these, so I have no idea what they will do. This could be the one where on the live video we say, ooh, baby poo. So let's just see what happens. And if Brianna's watching, tell us what color you're going for so we know how much of each one to mix. If not, we'll just kind of do a one-to-one and see what we come up with. So we've got some, I'm going to start with the denim. And we've got denim here. And then if we add just a little bit of driftwood. Okay, see, now that's a cool color, but I should have asked when we were chatting earlier what color you were going for.
Miss Brianna said I'm going for a mostly blue with gray undertones for kitchen cabinets.
Okay, so you want to go with more gray for that, or what are you thinking? How can we play for you? What can we do to help? Since we're playing here and you don't have to buy the paint and do it yourself. Add a little more gray and go a little lighter. Okay, there we got way gray. So let's bring that denim back in. And she said mostly blue, and here I am adding gray, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's add a little bit more denim. So you're wanting to add the gray just to soften the denim because it's a little bit too dark, I'm assuming. See, that's getting us a pretty color. Ooh, okay. That's going to be denim with just adding a little bit of driftwood and tiny bit of driftwood till you're happy if that color family is looking like something you like. Is that looking yes, no?
I think a little more bluish.
A little more bluish. Okay. So you are going to add a very teeny amount of the driftwood to get to what you want. In fact, I'm wondering if we start with, let me try one more thing here since we're mixing and playing. And anybody else who's got a request, feel free to holler. You might, since you just want a little gray to it, you might want to start with the denim and add, I'm going to mix colors without, I don't want to get them muddy. You might want to add gray mist versus the driftwood. It's a little bit lighter, gray mist is. Okay, I'll add some more blue, but it's not coloring it as fast. Oh, I like that color. Okay, there's some more denim. I think if you add gray mist, you're going to be able to, a little more blue. So I'd probably play around with the gray mist because it's not going to color the denim as quickly as the driftwood is, and you'll be able to add just a teeny amount at a time and get to a color that makes you happy. So we can still add just that little bit of gray mist we added. Look how far away we still are from actually denim. Just that little bit of gray mist colored it. So that's a pretty color. All right. So I'd start with denim and add just little bits of gray mist until you come up with something that makes you happy. Let me put some of that on a paint stick just so we can see the color.
Oh man, there's a glare.
How's that?
That's better.
Okay. And we're still way different than just the straight denim. You can definitely tell there's a gray tint to it, see? If you look at the two next to each other. So even just a little bit of adding something makes a big difference. So if you're wanting to play, buy some samples. We've got a live chat on the website. If I'm not answering the live chat, then it gives you an option to email. But I'm happy to answer questions about what colors I think would work together. If I don't answer right then email. But then you can go to the retailer closest to you and just buy a couple samples and play. And then once you get the ratio down, if you're doing a bigger project, you can buy more. But it's really a matter of just putting the colors together. And sometimes it'll help just to Google what colors you can put together. It may not be exactly right because the bases of the paint may be different than the exact, you know, if they're saying, you know, black and yellow and blue, you may have to play with which of our blues, or it may be a little bit off, but that's a good start too, to find out which colors to put together to make something that'll make you happy. But the big thing is just play in little small amounts to see if you're even in the color family you want. And if you are, you know, you can buy some bigger amounts and then just add them together until you get the color you want. And hopefully this helped. Thank you so much for watching.